Is this normal? It's probably nothing serious. Maybe I'll feel better tomorrow.
Emergency symptoms can be good at hiding. That's why you shouldn't ignore symptoms like chest pain, high fever, trouble breathing, or severe stomach pain. They could be a medical emergency in disguise. Thankfully, an Eastside ER is ready to serve you 24/7 with fast wait times and dedicated ER experts, so we can quickly help turn your questions into answers. Visit eastsidemedical.com.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is cared for by Eastside Medical Center, providing quality care to Gwinnett County and the greater Atlanta area for over 38 years.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to another award-winning edition of Gwinnett Business Radio. Mike Salmond alongside Stephen Julian coming to you live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio in the beautiful Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, good morning there, Mike.
What's going on in your life these days?
Not much. I did find out very recently that the new season of Stranger Things is on Netflix, and it was filmed right around the corner from the beautiful Sonesta Atlanta Gwinnett Place Hotel.
Very cool. And Ozark? They're actually filming some scenes here in the hotel.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
so
it's like Hollywood Central right here.
Wow, and no thanks to us.
Yeah, so watch Ozark, watch Stranger Things, and
but
maybe you'll see Steven in the background.
No, I don't think so. But what you should do is listen to Gwinnett Business Radio, because we bring on fantastic business leaders and business owners to spotlight and highlight their business.
And today is no exception. We have Julie Soltis with us from the BMW Performance Center and Driving School, and Nichelle Jones with Jones Health and Benefits. And we appreciate both of them joining us this morning. We're going to start the show off with Julie. Julie, good morning.
Good morning.
Julie, the BMW Performance Center and Driving School, Greer, South Carolina. Tell us all about it and what you guys do there.
Well, I would love to, and thank you for having me on. I'm so excited to be here. So if I told you there was a place you could go to and drive a bunch of different BMWs around and have a wonderful time, is that something that sounds like fun to you?
I'm in.
There.
I thought so. Well, that's what we do at the BMW Performance Center. We have a high-performance driving school there, and it's a permanent performance driver training facility. And we're located near Greer, South Carolina, which is just outside Greenville. And we are open to the public. And we offer a wide range of driving schools for licensed drivers of all ages and capabilities. And we also offer programs for private and corporate groups. So the schools are taught by BMW professional driving instructors on private courses. And the classes range from teen schools to 2-day high-performance driving schools. And we also do private coaching, which some people don't know that we offer that as well. And the corporate groups get to come in and get behind the ultimate driving machine. I mean, and just have a really good time. So
I could bring a corporate group from my business.
Business RadioX. Sorry, go ahead.
Hint, hint.
Is that a little subliminal
I
message
just had something
there?
in my throat. I apologize.
And you basically give us the keys to all these BMWs, and we get to drive them as fast as we want on these courses.
That's right.
And then there's also an ability to be instructed on how to drive fast and faster on these courses.
Exactly. So you will learn all kinds of really cool things, valuable driving skills like proper vision, basic car control, panic braking, handling, emergency lane changing, and much more. So you will have a good time, but you'll walk away having learned some really valuable car control skills.
So at this performance center, we're not talking about like one track. We're talking about multiple different scenarios. If I were to walk in, what am I going to see when I walk in? When I walk into the performance center?
So what you'll see probably right away is our M Bistro Cafe. So I work with the corporate events team, and so
she knows you well, Stephen.
Wow.
She started with the food.
Man, but see, if I do that, I'll never get to the cars. But continue.
Yeah, so that's included when you come and do a corporate event with us. We offer a meal with it. So we have meeting space with full AV. And then you'll get a meal, and then you come in and you do a classroom session, and then you go out and you have some fun in the car. So the instructors will kind of talk about what you're going to do, what you're going to learn, and then you'll go out, and there are several different car control courses out there. We have a racetrack, and then we have a variety of different courses: skid pad, autocross, braking, emergency lane changing. and then you'll get out on the track some too.
When corporations and small businesses are looking to do events like this, I think a lot of people might hear the initial thing about that BMW Performance Center and driving school and think, man, that's out of my price range. I'm assuming it's not exorbitant to do some of these packages.
It's not. We actually have a little bit for everybody.
Okay.
So depending upon your group size, how much time you want to spend with us, and what your goals are, we will build a custom event to meet your needs.
Nice.
So I will work with the group, depending upon what they are trying to accomplish, and we'll make sure it happens for them.
Because you answered another question that I didn't even get to ask, but I'm going to ask it just to sound like I think I know what I'm talking about. It sounds like also people could use this for some group building, some team building,
Exactly.
as well as just, hey, let's go have a great corporate day and just blow off some steam and have some fun driving really fast.
Exactly. I mean, the feedback I get from groups is always amazing. It's like, it's perfect for team building. If you have a group and you want to come in and do a meeting, and then they go out, the exercises that we have in our events build themselves towards team building because we build in competition. There's elimination competitions, there's time competitions. So it's great to get out there with your peers and your colleagues, and kind of give each other a hard time and encourage each other too, at the same time.
It's like she knows us.
The reason Julie's here is about a month ago, you invited the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce Chairman's Club members to come on out and experience the driving school and the performance center. And so about 50 or 60 of us came out there?
Yeah, we had a really good group come out and have a good time. And, I mean, you tell me what you thought. I mean, you got the hot lap and all
you
that.
Actually,
so.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to drive several different types of BMWs and feel how they perform. And there was the one where you go around a short track and a longer track and a timed course, and you get to drift and do all this neat stuff on wet pavement and spin them out a little bit. And I mean, it was an amazing experience. I've never done anything like that since, or in my life, and I want to do it again.
And a group of 40 or 50, every single person can have some kind of experience of driving the car while at
Everybody
an event?
will have several turns
Wow.
driving a variety of different BMWs on all the different courses. So you get a lot of seat time, and you'll learn a lot too. You'll have fun and you'll learn a lot.
And you're not in the car with an actual professional driver. I mean, you're on your own.
Ooh.
So it's not like there's hit the brakes now or do this. You get to go as fast as you think you want to go.
Now, can you tell your story real quick that you did the hot lap on your own, and then what happened after you saw the professionals going?
Oh, they're very smart. What they do is the professional drivers, you get in a car with them at the end, and they actually drive you around the course, and that's where you're holding on for dear life. It's exhilarating. You don't realize how far you can push those vehicles until you're in a car with them driving.
Right.
And had I known I could have pushed it that hard, I would have pushed it even harder than I did. But you don't know.
And so
but now I know I want to go back.
Yeah, that's why we do that at the end.
To get them to come back the next time. I'm going to come back, and I'm really going to push it on my own,
Yeah,
right?
and it shows off the vehicle, what the vehicle can do, and it also shows off the instructor's car control skills, because that's why they're so awesome. They know what they're doing, they're passionate, and they really want to teach people how to be better drivers.
And you talked, so going back to the group events, so here's the chamber coming with 40 or 50 people. Is there any group that's too small? I mean, you're open to the public, so even individuals who just, even a business owner listening, running his own small business wants to take a day to set some goals and have some fun.
Yes. Individuals can come out. We are a high-performance driving school. So like I said, we have everything from teen schools to 2-day high-performance driving schools. The group events, you can have as few people as you want. We have programs set up where you can just have you and somebody else for a half-a-day program. You can come out, or you can do 6 or 7 people. We can do anything from a few to we've had 700 people come out.
Wow.
We're talking with Julie Soltis with the BMW Performance Center and Driving School, and it's located in Greer, South Carolina, so it's about an hour and a half away. But you're drawing from groups from all over the region.
We are. Actually, we have another performance center located just outside Palm Springs, California, in Thermal, California, at the Thermal Club Track, and that's a private club track. And it's basically all the same things you can do in Greer, South Carolina, but it's to cater to the people who are on the West Coast that want to come out and do corporate events or driving schools as well.
These BMWs that people are driving are because I'm not a car guy, so if I go too far, I will really show my ignorance. I'll just say it up front. These are standard BMWs that you would buy at any BMW center.
Yes.
So they're not souped up, or they're not any kind of special.
These are just like you could order, from your dealer. We have, like I said before, anything from our high performance M models to the SUVs to the sedans. So you really get to try a little bit of everything.
I'm going to ask one other thing. If you're going to give the website at the end, and I'm going to give a tease for that website for people to go to the website.
Perfect.
Can you explain the fact that when I looked on your website, which will be given at the end of this interview in just a few minutes, I saw cars going through what looked like a river or a deep water kind of thing?
Yes, and I would highly recommend going on and looking that website. And you can go to YouTube as well and just put in BMW Performance Driving School, and you'll see a nice video that really shows the cars in action on the different courses. So it's a nice visual of what you'll be doing. But you do see the off-road course that we have there in South Carolina, where you'll take the SUVs and you go, over rocks and through river, and it really shows off the capabilities of the vehicle, and it's kind of fun. You're doing a little off-roading, and we do have, we've just added an off-road course in California as well.
Wow. So it's more than just going fast. It's going over and around stuff.
Well, we don't want to tease too much, so we'll give the website, and I'm assuming if by asking this question you'll give us the website. How can people register for the training experience?
So there are a couple ways you can do that. You can go to the website, which is www.bmwperformancecenter.com, or you can call our 800 number, which is 1-888-345-4BMW, which is 4269. So did you get that?
Say it again.
It's 1-888-345-4BMW, which is 4269. Now, if you're looking to do a private or group event, please reach out to me directly, and you can call me either on my cell phone, which is 404-216-9411, or you can email me at julie.soltis, SOLTIS, at bmwnext.com, and I will set you up with something awesome.
See, I had her say that first phone number twice, but if you miss it again, you could just hit reverse and play this back again.
You could,
yes, on the podcast.
And you can also say, I can also say at the BMW Performance Center website, bmwperformancecenter.com, on the front page, there's a little, it's very easy to see at the bottom, it says book a private event.
Yes.
Let's say, Julie, that I'm not big into driving fast or driving cars like that, but my son or my cousin or a friend of mine is into it. Can I somehow buy them like a gift certificate?
You can buy a gift certificate by calling that 800 number again, the 888-345-4269, and you can purchase gift certificates. They are perfect for birthdays, graduation, and we even have people come out and do bachelor parties with us too.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, nice. How young can someone be to do this?
So if you have your permit and you have about 80 hours of driving, you can come out. Licensed drivers can come out of any age, and any experience. So we're here to help you be better drivers and have some fun in BMWs.
The first thing I was thinking when I was actually doing this last month is, oh my God, my 19-year-old son would love this.
Yeah.
So when we do our thing, I'm probably going to bring him along too.
Yeah. Well, I've got an 18 and a 16-year-old. They'll probably want to be a part of it too.
Our group is getting bigger, Julie.
Yes.
If only there was someone who could help us customize. I encourage everybody to go to the website. I love that on the website. And by the way, it's BMW and Minis. There's a
yes,
Mini
in
section.
California. In California, we have the Minis.
Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is on the website it says classes that you can explore, and then it says experiences, and that's such a good breakdown. Do you want to come to learn something? Do you want to come to have an experience, or do you want to have a combination of both? You can do something custom. That's when you need to talk to Julie.
That's right.
I got to ask the question. I'm just thinking people are out there listening right now, and they're thinking, wait a minute, there's got to have been accidents, cars that have spun. I mean, it doesn't happen, does it? These cars it's hard to do something wrong with these cars.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about safety, right? We're a school. So our instructors are really good about keeping everybody safe. They're really good at spotting those who maybe need a little more supervision than others. But they make sure everybody has a good time. We want everybody to have, to be comfortable. We don't want you to be scared, but we like to push people a little bit outside their comfort zone because that's how you stretch and grow. So But we are all about safety, and the instructors make it fun for everybody.
When we come out, keep your eye on Trey, our producer.
I'll make a note.
He's the one that I'm most concerned about.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that.
I drive it like my grandmother.
Worked in nonprofit with teenagers for a while. The people you have to keep a little bit of an extra eye on. We used to call them EGRs. A little extra grace required.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think that you can steal that if you
Anything about the BMW Performance Center and Driving School that we have failed to mention that you want to talk about?
No, thank you. You guys did a great job. I really loved being here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to give us a call. We're just a few hours up I-85. It's worth a drive. There's the factory right across the street, which a lot of people may not know. And there's also the Zentrum Museum, which you can go and see about the history of BMW and kind of get immersed in the entire BMW experience.
Here's the biggest issue I have with you guys. I'm sorry, I'm venting right now. After you leave the school, driving cars really fast all day, and you're driving home on 85, and you got to go 65?
No, 70.
Or 70? It's hard to do.
Well, we try to warn people because you do have a sort of a false sense of speed once you are, there.
I
so we try to warn people, just remember now, because the troopers are out there and they know that the school is right here and they know people have just left the school. So you have to be careful.
I wasn't driving back, but the person I was driving, I think we got back to Atlanta in 15 minutes or so. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's what cruise control is for, right? Yeah. Set it and you'll be
absolutely
readjust it.
The need for speed. Yeah. Julie Soltis, BMW Performance Center and Driving School, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff.
Mike, before we get to our next interview, just want to remind everybody that Gwinnett Business Radio is cared for by Eastside Medical Center. Quality care close to home. Eastside Medical has been a community healthcare leader for over 39 years, nationally recognized for patient safety. Eastside focuses on delivering quality care with exceptional outcomes by using the most advanced technology and experienced physicians. For more information on Eastside's system of care, visit eastsidemedical.com.
All right, Stephen, our next guest is Nichelle Jones with Jones Health and Benefits. Nichelle is the president and managing agent. And for those that are listening, yes, I am saying Nichelle, not Michelle, but Nichelle. Love your name, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. And tell us all about your company, Jones Health and Benefits, and what you do.
Well, at Jones Health and Benefits, we specialize in securing affordable health benefits and programs for small businesses, those folks aging into retirement or Medicare, or self-employed folks.
You have a lot of experience in this field. Tell us about your background.
Yes, I have been in benefits and HR for nearly almost 24 years, and I've owned my own agency for the last 9 here in Metro Atlanta.
When you mentioned that the biggest thing you do is affordable health benefits in the workplace for business owners, that has become such a maze. Can I use that word?
Yes.
I think a lot of business owners are. It's so
I got other words we can use,
well,
but just not on the air.
We want. Yeah. Well, you can say anything you want. We're online,
right.
but we're trying to keep people listening.
Yes.
So. When you say affordable, kind of define that. Kind of give me some examples of some ways that you've been able to help business owners find an affordable solution to health benefits.
So for a lot of folks, what really kind of took place was after the Affordable Care Act, kind of small business owners kind of were part of the collateral damage, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And they were the ones probably most impacted with the shift in the marketplace when it comes to health insurance. So what I do for my particular clients is I kind of do more of a deep dive into how they're using insurance, how many employees they have, the culture of those employees, and then I look at those major players that are still in the market for small businesses, and then design plans based on that. So especially if you have maybe a healthier group, maybe a high deductible plan with a health savings account may make sense. If you have more employees that are on the lower end in terms of income, we may look at FSAs or supplemental coverage to go along with their major medical insurance.
And I think one of the things that's shifted from ACA to today is it has allowed for a little bit more creativity and competition.
Yes.
So if I'm a business owner and when I was under ACA, I was like, I can't do anything, so I'm just going to get out of the marketplace. Mm-hmm. There might be an opportunity to kind of step back in, not necessarily with a quote-unquote group plan, but to help their employees make good health insurance decisions. Is that a fair statement?
Very much so.
Okay.
So recently you might have heard of some of the changes in the administration for health reimbursement accounts. That's a great kind of a stepping stone for some employers that don't have the money to totally reinvest in a major medical group plan, but still want to contribute to helping their clients with their health care expenses.
So talk a little bit more about that. A reimbursement account is something that a business owner would set up for he or her and their employees.
Correct.
And then the business is helping reimburse some of the costs. Is that basically
Yes.
what it is?
So, and it's a good way to also kind of budget in terms of operating costs. So let's say for each employee, if a business owner wants to set aside like $250, $300 a month, that's going to be less than your typical premium dollars of a major medical plan, but that employee can then use that money to reimburse themselves for going to see a doctor for copays or prescription coverage. If they do actually participate with some of the other alternative health plans out there, that can help them pay for some of the costs, monthly billing costs that they have associated with that.
Nichelle, working with an experienced broker or agent like yourself, why is that so important when you're making these types of decisions?
Yeah, I believe that's important because, especially, I've kind of been in your shoes in various different positions I've had in life. So I've been the HR person that had to communicate with the employees about the benefits and decide on those benefits. I've worked for the large broker that has had access to a variety of different programs and carriers. I've worked with an insurance carrier, so I know the inner workings on some of the decision making that takes place. And so as being your advocate and your industry expert, I can kind of direct your benefit program and customize that to where you are today and where you're looking to go into the future.
You know, a lot of times, as Mike and I have interviewed a lot of different business leaders from different businesses, one of the questions that one of the things that kind of keeps coming up a lot is there are certain industries where we say, there's a lot of people that do what you do. In your particular niche, there isn't as many as used to do it, right? Now, there is still competition,
Yes.
but it's been kind of whittled down to some extent.
It has.
Which is good and bad for you in some ways. So what I'm going to ask is, you've made it through this transition, and who knows what's around the corner next. Why do you keep doing this? Why do you love it so much? And what makes Jones Health and Benefits kind of unique compared to the competition? Because you've clearly beaten some of the competition because they're not doing it anymore.
Right. Well, yeah, definitely for me, being a small business owner myself, I can relate to those employers out there. I may not have 100 employees like some of you may have, but I can certainly know the trials and the challenges and the successes of launching and advancing in a business, a successful business. So I like to work with those business owners specifically because it's rewarding to me to kind of watch those folks grow. I had a law firm that I've been working with for several years that started off with just 2 guys and an admin, and they're now over 25 employees. And so I've kind of built their program as they've kind of increased their business. On the flip side, for my folks aging into Medicare, if you can think about, you've had your benefits decisions made for you for 30, 40, 50 years, and now you're going into Medicare, and it can be very overwhelming and scary. So I like being able to sit across the table for someone that looks like either my parents or grandparents and kind of making sure that they have a soft place to fall as they transition into Medicare.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's where I was going to transition and ask a question. So so we've had 2 guests now who answer a question before I get to ask it. They're really good guests today. We're speaking with Nichelle Jones with Jones Health and Benefits. And at the very beginning, you talked about not just affordable health benefits for groups and businesses, but you talk about this transition to Medicare. So that's where it's going to go beyond being a group, and what you do. So I guess what you do is any employee of any businesses that you work with that are starting to transition. Talk through that process. I know it's a long process, so I'm going to ask you to talk through it in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
But what's that look like, and what do people need to be ready for, and how you can help them in that?
So your typical retiree, when you're getting ready to turn 65, pretty much everybody knows you're about to turn 65. So you're going to start getting inundated by mail. Your phone might be ringing a little bit more. All of a sudden, different emails may be coming to you just because you went to a particular website. And so you're going to get inundated with a lot of information. A lot of it will look really official, red, white, and blue, all of that. So what I always tell my clients, unless it comes directly from Social Security office, you can throw all that away and let me take over and kind of help you through that process. So what I do is I sit down with my clients, go over their health issues if they have any, their prescriptions, more importantly, if they're taking some of those, one or none or several. I have those type of clients as well. And I kind of put it all together to you in a simple proposal. So everything's together all in one document. And then that way we can kind of go through those major carriers, what those plan differences are, and then, of course, your prescription dollars, because that really impacts a lot of my seniors in terms of their out-of-pocket costs.
Nichelle, a lot of our listeners are business owners and entrepreneurs. What are some of the more common mistakes that you may see business owners make when it comes to their health and benefits?
Okay. Probably the most common mistakes is putting in a plan too soon when they're not ready for it. So what I mean by that is, let's say the business owner wants insurance, and so then they decide, okay, I'm going to do a group plan, and you may have 10 or 15 employees, but only 3 people decide to pick up the plan. That's a common mistake because, first of all, for the carrier standpoint, you need to have at least 50% participation in a group plan, and so for it to really be successful. So you want to make sure that when you're putting together your plan, you're doing it at the right time. So what I always tell folks is, as you're coming up on that 5th couple years of being in business, you have your 5th or 6th full-time employee. Now's the time to start kind of gauging where are they in terms of their health coverage, so that if you need a plan, you're putting it in place when you have enough participation for it to take root and grow from there. The other thing is actually trying to add everything all at one time. If it just doesn't make sense or it doesn't fit your culture, I have clients that if you don't need vision coverage because everybody's eyesight is perfect, then you don't need to add that, okay? You can save those dollars and enhance the medical plan with having a lower copay or adding some other type of voluntary type of benefit to kind of help with the high deductible. Those are probably the 2 most common things that I see there.
In preparing for this interview, talked a little bit with you as we met networking, and one of the things I've heard you say, and you've talked about the 4 insurance plans that a small business owner would want to have in place. I mean, that's probably kind of it's an easy thing for people to take away from this interview. Yep. What do you mean by that? Talk about those 4 plans.
Yeah. The first one I always stress with is key person insurance. And especially if you're a small business owner, and I kind of give the visual or kind of the example of, let's say you own an architectural firm, you have someone in charge of business development, you have the architect, and then you may have just the CEO. Well, if something happens to your architect, then the whole business goes down the drain. So you might want to have at least key person insurance on that architect because they're the designer, the driving force of the business. And that will also give you some time to find a replacement while you keep the business afloat. Second example is disability insurance. So if you can imagine being injured or having an illness that will put you out of work for several weeks, a disability insurance will come in and give you a percentage of your income to kind of keep the roof over your head. And if you still need to do a little work from the laptop on your bed, you have some time to do that because you have some money still coming in there. Business owner expense, not a lot of people know of, especially those folks that have a brick and mortar location. It's also a disability type insurance plan, but this one helps you with your overhead expenses of your facility. So for instance, if you want to keep your salaries for your employees going while you're out, it will cover that. The rent on the building itself, your benefits program, things like that. That's what business owner expense covers. And then last and most importantly, I like to say, is your health insurance, because a healthy business owner is a successful business owner. So you yourself need to make sure you have some sort of health insurance plan in place.
Well, Nichelle, I want to compliment you because when it comes to health and benefits, it can be overwhelming, scary, confusing. And you've said it in a way that I actually understand it and feel a little bit more comfortable. So I can see the benefits of working with someone that's got the experience.
Yeah, you're not sweating
that you
that
have.
bad.
I know.
It's really good.
Usually.
Yeah.
So Nichelle, for those that would like to reach out and have a conversation with you and find out, maybe use your services, how can they do that?
Yes, they can visit me on my website. It's joneshealthandbenefits.com, and it's all run together. You can also contact me by phone at 770-668-0797. If you go to my website, you can go directly to Contact Us, and you can fill out your information there, some basic information, nothing too personal. And then that way I can get back, schedule a time for you to get on my calendar, and we can have an initial conversation or face-to-face.
Great. Nichelle, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Nichelle Jones with Jones Health and Benefits. I wonder if she's ever given a quote to like a racetrack where they got race car drivers and stuff.
I'm sure she'd love to. I think the biggest thing that came through in Nichelle's interview is just to have a conversation, right? I think health insurance, one of the reasons I was excited to get her on the show, health insurance is one of those topics that I think people have I don't want to talk about it anymore, and has been that way for a couple of years. But it's the conversation, if you got away from the conversation, get back into it. Take care of your employees and yourself.
Well, Nichelle hit a little close to home, too, when she said some companies, they want to do the health benefit thing, and they're not quite ready. They're not, big enough yet. Trey and I can attest. We tried that maybe 2 years ago, and it just didn't quite work out. We probably weren't quite at that place.
Yes, definitely.
So that was really good advice, and thank you for joining us. I know we could have probably talked for another half an hour easy.
Oh, yes.
So it's great to see the passion that you have, so thank you so much.
Appreciate
Big
it.
thank you to our guest, Nichelle Jones with Jones Health and Benefits, and Julie Soltis with the BMW Performance Center and Driving School. Thank you so much for joining us.
Mike, just want to remind everybody that Gwinnett Business Radio does come to you every week from the Subaru of Gwinnett Studios. Love is what makes a Subaru. Get big savings and enjoy their hassle-free experience. Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today. Come in and see the difference, or maybe, like Mike, you're already a Subaruist, then follow Subaru of Gwinnett's Facebook page.
And I drive it really fast.
For the latest Subaru offers, news, and community events.
All right, Stephen, I want to remind our listeners that you can listen to this show anytime you want, 24/7, by going to
Anytime?
Anytime.
24/7?
365?
365?
That's what I said.
Okay, sorry.
Were you listening?
Yeah.
Go to businessradiox.com, select the Gwinnett Studio. Not the Alpharetta.
No.
Not the Sandy
They're all
Springs,
great studios.
Not Phoenix.
They're great studios.
Not Pensacola.
They're fantastic.
Pick the Gwinnett Studio.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Also, search our
We
archives.
get the best shows here.
Search our archives.
The other studios aren't listening to us right now.
Well, so that's their fault.
Yeah, exactly. So go to the Gwinnett Studio and select Gwinnett Business Radio. You'll see this episode and 6 years' worth of episodes. Also, I would be remiss if I did not remind you to please go and like us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and like us there as well. Amanda wants to make sure that I say that every show moving forward.
Check that box.
Like us out. Like us on social media. Gwinnett Radio X is our Twitter account, and Gwinnett Business Radio X, you'll find us there on LinkedIn and on Facebook.
But the most important thing, listen to the episodes.
All right. Any parting shots?
No.
All right. Take your time going
drive
home.
slow.
Drive
slow, and get good benefits.
There you go.
That's
exactly.
the message from today.
For our guest, for Stephen, for our producer Trey, who actually made an on-air appearance today.
Yeah.
That was cool. He came up from behind the curtain. I'm Mike. We'll see you next time right here on Gwinnett Business Radio.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo!